Welcome back to J Tendencies. I am your host, Jay Suave.
And I am J Reese.
And once again, we have had one of the craziest weeks in football. Every week, we kind of get more kind of crazy, more challenging, something to always talk about. And speaking of crazy, just in general, I want to start off with the NBA. The Detroit Pistons won last night, y'all,
But
against
at
the
what cost? At what cost?
like at what cost? Because, bro, I think every time that the Pistons win, the Lions lose. Seriously, like whenever they lost to the Cowboys, I'm pretty sure that they won.
Bro,
But
Detroit's sacrificing the wrong teams right now.
no, they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. They were one seed. I'm pretty sure they're still one seed right now. They beat them by 16 points, y'all, with no Cade Cunningham. And that was crazy to see. You had Jalen Duren, 22 points, 21 rebounds, 6 assists, and a block, just 31 minutes. I remember whenever he got drafted, and people were saying this Detroit team was finna be like the I think it was like the 2001 Lakers team, and I was like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. He literally compared Jalen Duren to
To
Shaq.
Prime Shack. That's crazy.
So Jack is literally insane, and I just say that because it was on Reddit. Them Reddit boys be something else, I promise you. But still,
Hey,
even with the loss, you had Shy over 31 points, top MVP candidate as of right now. Jalen Williams going crazy, probably the most consistent player besides Shy on that team, and he got my name too. So I gotta rep my dog.
this guy.
Come on now,
But yeah, I know Detroit happy with for that win. They got the free wing stop to ease away their pains. Um,
bro.
this week Luka had dropped 73 points right after Joel Embiid we mentioned it on our podcast last week because it happened the night we were recording where Joel had dropped 70. Luka said, "You know what? Watch this." And he dropped 73 points the other night. I went into work the next day. Everybody was like, "Bro, that's my MVP right there, Luka 73." Like it was no Kyrie, so Luka had most of the burden against the Hawks, and the Hawks weren't really playing any defense. I saw one clip where Luka just walked in for the easiest lay I've ever seen in an NBA game, the most uncontested lay, like from half court, and the whole defense was set up and everything, which was crazy. But I'm not taking no credit away from Luka. Luka's an incredible player. That was a great performance by Luka right there. I know a bunch of Mad fans are out there happy right now, and
No, for real. Hopefully they can play better at home though. They're like 8-13. They play a lot better on the road. They're 12 and
mhm.
9. And this team might be better without Luca on the team by just and I won't say like trade Luca. That's not what
Yeah.
I'm saying at all.
Mhm.
But whenever he's not playing, it's like the team kind of plays more together and they actually pass the ball to whoever needs to be passed to. I get that this is a high scoring game. It was 148 to 143. But you had guys like Josh Green with like 25 points, bro. Like whenever Luka dropped 73, and then you got guys like Josh Green, and I'm not discrediting Josh Green, he's nice, but I feel like this was a 5 point game, and Luka
Mhm.
had 73 points. So I, I don't know how this is gonna correlate, but like there's got to be some changes being made.
I understand, but it's the same way with how when Cat had dropped 62, right? And then it got to a point where Cat was just throwing up shots to throw up shots to try to get over 70. And then that ended up hurting the team because, they ended up losing that game when Cat dropped 63. So I'm not 62, I mean.
They ain't play my man's in the fourth, bro.
Yeah, that's how bad he was because he shot 2 of 10 from the field in the fourth that game. And he was hurting the team at that point, right? He wasn't providing nothing on offense but turnovers and bad shot selections. So it was right for them to sit him. But I guess you're trying to say because a lot of time when this guy is scoring all these points, right? He starts playing a lot of selfish basketball, not getting his teammates included. That's when you start getting away from the team aspect of the game, and that's when you start losing the lead and start the game gets closer and closer. So I'm not like you said, no one's trying to say trade Luka because that's not gonna happen. Luka is one of the faces of the NBA, and if he ever gets traded, Miami always has a spot for you, Luka. Just had to put that
That's
out there.
crazy.
But
And just
but
staying on that topic,
yeah,
I do wanna talk about my dogs. They just lost to the Clippers, bro. At home, I was so sick. But I mean, the Clippers have, I think, been the best team since December. I'm pretty sure they're
mhm.
22-4. Since then,
Which
they're
is
sitting at the
crazy because
third seed right
because we
now.
talked about that whole month or that whole stretch where James Harden, and we were saying, what's the issue with James Harden? And now they're like, what issue are you talking about? I don't remember no issue because them boys are cooking on all fronts, offense, defense, everywhere, man.
Yeah, I saw a guy tweet. It was like James Harden playing the Celtics tonight. This is what he's gonna do, and he showed the videos of him cooking the Celtics whenever he had 40
Hmm.
against them in the playoffs last year. But this man dropped literally. I'm gonna lay out the script for you. This man dropped 40 two times in that playoff series and averaged 22 points. Like, you know how insane that is? So we held him in all of their 5 games. So I'm not even tripping. But just the Celtics ended up losing by like 30 points. I'm pretty sure it was 115 to, I mean, 20 points, 115 to 96. But it really just seemed like Tatum was the only one who kind of came to play. He had 21 point, 11 rebound, double double. I'm pretty sure what's it called? Peyton Pritchard was the next highest scorer. Like you think it would you think it would
Hmm.
be Jaylen Brown, Derek
Yeah.
White, something like that. But it just didn't happen. Definitely got to get on that. I just wish we still had Ime Udoka, but he was too busy with the staff on the team. You feel me?
Um, Another thing I mentioned this last week. It's crazy how I mentioned last week the Heat. We should trade Kyle Lowry for Terry Rozier. Maybe he'll bring that spark to the offense. We traded for Terry Rozier, which is I'm really happy we did because he's looked pretty solid since he's been here. But we're still on a 6 game losing streak. We're about to be a seventh grade losing streak because we're losing right now to the Suns. And it's just like I don't know what it is with what's going on with the team right now. Because right now I think we're still seventh in the East. So I'm not saying that the team is like all horrible because we're not that bad. We're still in the playoff picture right now. It's just we have a lot of stuff to figure out because we're not clicking on offense offensively or defensively. And that's really hurting us because we're into these slow starts. We have a strong like third, second quarter, I think. And then the fourth quarter we end up losing again. So it's just we gotta find our stride. We gotta bounce back. We gotta figure out what the issue is, hammer that out. But I have trust in Coach Spo. He just signed that extension, for a reason, right? Because we have a lot of trust in that coach. We have a lot of trust in the guys in the locker room. I wouldn't be surprised if he try to make another move before the trade deadline I think in another week or two. So we shall see what happens. But the last game in the NBA I wanted to talk about another LeBron and Curry classic, double
Yes,
overtime
sir.
game. LeBron James 39 years old, 36 points, 20 rebounds, 12 assists. LeBron has officially become the oldest player in NBA history to have a 30-point triple double. What is Michael Jordan gonna do? Nothing. He's too old. LeBron's the
I'm out of
GOAT.
retirement.
And drop what? Nothing. LeBron is the GOAT. LeBron is the second coming of himself. I don't know. I was gonna say Michael Jordan, but I'm trying to say he's better than Michael Jordan. So
Bro
I'm
just started speaking.
But yeah, that was a great game. Double overtime. They won by 1 point. D'Angelo Russell, who was playing pretty poor all game, said for the game, "Let me go ahead ice the game up right here with this deep three." For no reason, just bro walked into. I saw the replay. Bro was smiling before he
Bro,
walked into
yeah,
the
bro
three.
was cheesing, bro.
Like bro. But yeah, great game by the Lakers. That was a game they needed because they have been struggling ever since the play-in to get those consistent wins, get those good wins. So that was a good win by them. D'Angelo Russell ever around the trade deadline just ignited something else inside of him. See the memes, regular ice in my veins,
Hmm.
D'Lo is nowhere near trade deadline D'Lo, and we're seeing that right now.
Yeah, bro, and I definitely feel that way. And even with that, I'm pretty sure just before this game, LeBron is pretty close to hitting 40,000 points. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
he's like 200. They're playing right now, so I'm gonna guess he has like 15 points or something like that. He's probably around like 270 points away from hitting that 40,000 mark. We might see that this year. So I'm hoping
The
we
GOAT.
do. It's just gonna be more fuel for Jay Reese to be like he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT, man.
Yeah, come on now. But that was definitely a great game. Literally had me on the edge of my seat. And I don't like I love watching regular season, but it's like it's also you barely have games like that going to double OT. And more people have the fuel now to say Curry isn't clutch. even though he did hit some shots, Clay hit the one that sent it to double OT. But I know them bronze sexuals are probably like, yeah, bro, Curry sucks.
Yeah, bro, Curry does suck.
Bro, but other than that, we had the conference championships this week. I was correct on both of my predictions. I low key didn't want to be because I wanted the Ravens to win, but it was literally like my mind saying it was like my mind saying Chiefs, but my heart saying Ravens, bro. I needed Lamar. I needed Lamar to do it for the community, but the NFL won't let him do it, bro. You know Taylor Swift had to go to the Swifty Bowl.
Bro, they had to sell the tickets. They had to increase the viewership. But
Nah, bro, they had to.
great game by the Chiefs, even though they didn't score a single point in the second half. You know, they started out strong. The defense held, which was really great. Their defense really um kept the game in favor of the Chiefs because the Chiefs were, I'm not gonna say they were struggling in the second half, but they couldn't put up any points in the second half. So it could be due to them being up by, I think they were up by 10 at that point, you know what I'm saying, and at the halftime. And then the Ravens couldn't do nothing on offense, get them back into the game. They have a big play. It gets knocked down by a taunting penalty by Zay Flowers, and Zay Flowers catches a ball. And they're all told not to reach towards the end zone, but they all do. And unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
Ladar L'Jarius Sneed was
Legarius
able,
Sneed.
yep, was able to punch the ball out. Good peanut punch at the goal line to get that ball out and force a fumble for the Chiefs. So I'm not gonna be out here saying, Lamar can't perform in those big moments because even though Lamar didn't play great, he played good enough to be able to win that game. He was, if Zay Flowers doesn't fumble right there, he scores that touchdown. It's a totally different ball game. We could be here talking right now about how the Ravens beat the Chiefs and Lamar's going to his first Super Bowl. But that's just not how the cookie crumbles. A team that's number one in rushing attempts throughout the season only has 6 rushing attempts to their running backs during the game. And I remember I was at work watching part of the game with my coworkers, watching Gus Edwards run for a 15-yard run. Like, oh, that boy's cooking. And then they don't run the ball like that throughout the rest of the game, which is insane. So it's just simple things like that. It's like they weren't playing to their game, and that's what cost them ultimately to lose against the Kansas City Chiefs. I felt like if they stuck more to that run game that they've been more used to, do like you've seen throughout the regular season and the other games in the playoffs, the Ravens could have won that game. I'm not saying they would have won, but I'm saying they really could have won. They would have made a strong case to win that game. But it's just not how it happened. Congratulations to the Chiefs. I'm rooting for y'all right now because I'm not a big Niner fan. But what do you have to
Bro,
think?
just a hater, bro.
What do you have to say about that game, Jay?
I mean, yeah, bro. I think for me it was a time of possession thing, and that's what kind of also killed the Ravens. They only had the ball for 9 minutes and 21 seconds, while the Chiefs had the ball for 20 minutes and 39 seconds, especially after halftime, and especially whenever you're leading at halftime, what 17-7,
Mm-hmm.
and you're coming back to a hostile environment. I think they got ball in the second half too.
Mm-hmm.
Or did the Ravens? Yeah, they ended up getting the ball in the second half. They're definitely finna chew some clock, figure out how to make you squeal, how to make them win this game, how to make you give up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't end up giving up. I mean, we saw at the end of the game, they almost scored, it didn't happen. But also, you just gotta think of Zay Flowers, bro. Like they always tell you not to reach for it. You would have
Mm-hmm.
done better trucking in the run game. Y'all have the best run game in the league for the whole year, basically. And y'all ran the ball the most for the whole year. So I guess I really just don't understand Todd Munkin's game plan for it. You come out against a team where the Buffalo Bills lined up James Cook and ran the ball. But I guess you just look at that and be like, we got to beat him in the air because Mahomes is going to beat us through the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you can say that because Mahomes is also going to do that against you. Like you can't stop him. We talked about this. Mahomes still the best quarterback in the league. To bring a team like this to the Super Bowl, this is the best defense he's had in years.
Mm-hmm.
So which makes me scared. I mean, I don't really care who wins the Super Bowl at this point. I want CMC with the ring. I ain't gonna lie. But I swear if I see the Panthers close, congratulations, CMC, I'm gonna crash out. Because then it's just like you're congratulating the 49ers. But other than that, bro, it was just frustrating to watch.
Yeah, a lot of those small
Same thing.
mistakes from Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Those are things that he'll learn over time because he is a rookie. Like, so he's still really young in the league in the game. But yeah, it was upsetting to watch.
Yeah, bro. And you had Ray Lewis hyping him up before the game. How bad do you want it? You want another one? Go get it.
I guess they didn't want it.
I know, but other than that, we had the NFC Championship game, Niners and Lions, and Kittle was right. They did have us in the first half. They
Bro,
were up
that crowd
20.
was so dead after he said that. Like they didn't understand the reference, and that made me
They
upset.
didn't, bro. That's what made me sick, bro.
Hmm.
But they were up 17 points at the half. And I was thinking this is over. My prediction is cooked. But they just came out. They acted like it was 0-0, and that was
Hmm.
the best part about this comeback. Especially Jared Goff making the mistakes he made. Jaden has told me all year, bro, Jared Goff is not him. And I'd be like, bro, just give him time. But yeah, man, it's just you really can't. You need to blame Jared Goff for some of that, especially whenever you were only up by one possession and then you turn the ball over again. That shouldn't happen. But I mean, Dan Campbell was even right whenever he was like, "This might be our last shot," and that literally made me think. Whenever the Panthers went 15-1, and then they made the playoffs in 2017, but it was like still never the same. You know, like
Hmm.
that was the team that should have won it all and didn't. And then you kind of go through like I won't say another rebuild, but like you have a young team right now,
Hmm.
but you're also in that era where like you should have won it right there.
Hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah, you're on the downward spiral.
Yeah,
But yeah, I totally agree, man. Like that's a game that they should have won. I do think Jared Goff played pretty well that game. That's what I think. I didn't think he played that bad. I wasn't expecting a masterclass out of Jared Goff or nothing, but he
yeah,
played
just enough to win.
just enough to win. And he did. He was providing a lot of those balls that should have been caught. Like you saw, there was two Josh Reynolds key passes that he dropped. Right, one on 4th and 3, then one on 3rd and 10 that would have helped Detroit keep that momentum of the game to keep them going forward. But unfortunately, he dropped it. The fourth down, they don't since they don't convert, the 49ers get the ball back. They go out there and score, and then the 3rd and 10, they have Detroit out there. They're forced to punt the ball away. So it's things like that. Jared Goff did put them in situations to win the game, and the players weren't able to answer. And that's just unfortunate. At the end of the day, because we were all rooting for this team to win the game. We're all hoping Detroit will win. And that fact that they're not just, leads us to one of the most unexciting Super Bowls that we're going to see in a minute, right? Nobody wanted the Super Bowl and it's happening. So it's,
Bro, how'd you feel about that Brandon Ayuk play, the 51 yard?
man, I was watching that live. I was so sick, bro, because like it was okay. First off, Brandon Ayuk, that was a great catch by you. That was great concentration on the ball. That's very difficult to do. So be able to come away with a catch in any sort of way from that situation is a great play by Brandon Ayuk. First off, they threw the flag. If they intercepted the ball, that would have been a defensive pass interference. I already knew what was going to happen. That happens every time. Because you saw the flag on the field, they're like, there was no flag. If the
Yeah.
ball was intercepted or incomplete, there would have been a defensive PI. And then there's nothing we could do about it. Like I was ready. I'm like ready to call that all the time because that's how refs be, bro. The game's about to change if a ref does that right there. But hit you off the face mask, bro. Off the face mask, through the hands. Bro, look the ball in the face. Boop. Off his hands. And bro scored a touchdown off of that. And like, and then what I really want to say about that play leads into the next topic that we have. So I'm gonna wait till you introduce that topic, but I thought it was crazy, man. I thought it was crazy.
Yeah, we can go ahead and fade into there right now.
Mhm.
And it's has Brock Purdy silenced the haters? And I know we've kind of been on this all year. I've talked about how, like, in week 5, he might be an MVP candidate.
Mhm.
Then, after they go lose to the Browns, they go lose to other teams. They have that, what, 3-game losing streak
They lost to
mid-season?
Brown, Cincinnati. and then Kirk Cousins and the Vikings.
Yeah, they ended up losing those games, and we were like, well, can Brock Purdy really lead this team basically, and see the guy for them? But our the answers have like been wishy washy like the whole year. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you take the floor. I'm gonna let you speak your piece on Brock Purdy. So how do you feel about him? Has he silenced the haters?
I'm gonna say no. Like not at like the hater in me is saying hell no, but like I'm not gonna say hell no because Brock Purdy is not a bad quarterback whatsoever. Like Cam said, right? Cam said this weeks ago. He is a game manager. I'm not gonna like, hate on Brock Purdy because me and you both had him as an MVP candidate early in the season because he was playing that well. But then you see him start struggling as actual like really good teams, and then just looking at the stats, if you want to stat watch like that, he had 267 yards, one touchdown, and one interception. Jared Goff had 273 yards, one touchdown, zero interceptions. So just looking straight off of that, Jared Goff did play better, but Jared Goff didn't win the game, and Brock Purdy won the game. And Brock Purdy was pretty much outplayed in both playoff games, but he managed to win the game. He had interceptable balls, like he had two interceptions that were dropped against the Packers. He had I remember the one that we just talked about against the Lions the other night. But Brock Purdy did make big plays when it mattered, so I'm not going to take that away from him. When the game mattered and the game was they had to win the game, Brock Purdy did make plays to go put him in a position to win the game. So credit to him for that. But I still think that a lot of the criticisms for against Brock Purdy are very valid, and I agree with Unc where he said he has to win the bowl, or he has to do something in the bowl to silence those doubters. Because like that interception, right? He threw an interception perfect to the defense, right? That was in his hands, and it bounced off his face mask, and it went for a well, how far was it? Like 50 something yard completion of Brandon Ayuk. Like
51.
yeah, like
Hmm.
that's a fluke. That's a fluke. Like, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, Brock Purdy's so elite. You see that ball placement? What ball placement? That was to the defense." Then you get another 46-yard check down route from Christian McCaffrey, who takes it all the way down to the 5 before he runs it in for a touchdown. So it's like I'm not gonna take away from what he's done because he has weapons. I'm just gonna say he's not elite, right? He's not gonna be that elite guy. And if he comes out in the Super Bowl and proves me wrong, good for him. You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna make it more difficult for the 49ers to keep winning. Because then once his contract expires, they're gonna have to pay him more money. After paying Debo top money, Brandon Ayuk get top money, Christian McCaffrey's top money, all them players getting top money. And then Brock Purdy's probably gonna get some bit other contract somewhere else. But what I'm trying to say is I don't think Brock Purdy has silenced his doubters just because I don't think he's at that elite kind of level yet. But I do think that he has the opportunity to do it. But from what I've seen, I still don't think he's that guy yet.
Yeah, and I won't I won't say I like completely agree, but I also don't disagree with you. Especially me seeing Brock Purdy in the second half yesterday. This man, first quarterback in the second half to throw for 150 yards, rush for 45 yards, complete 80% of his passes, average 10 plus yards a carry, and have zero turnovers all at once. And seeing the second half, seeing them score 27 points unanswered, and I know the defense has something to do with that just because it was unanswered, but not any quarterback can just do that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can have your weapons, but hey, I mean, you look at the Falcons, they have three top 10 picks on their team and weren't able to do anything. They didn't make playoffs. But Brock Purdy is definitely one of them guys. I won't say he's super elite, but definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I will say. You feel me?
I feel you. I feel you.
But yeah. And he's 24 too.
Mm-hmm.
He only finna get better. I wish they just would have done I wish they would have just did this with Trey Lance. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But who knows, bro, with that.
Trey Lance, Dallas Cowboy legend.
Nah, for real, bro. They need to start him over Dak this year. No cap,
Bro, just see what happens. We'll see what happens. Just see what happens. Just
bro.
let Trey Lance get a hold of the team. Let's see how good they are.
0-17.
That'd be crazy.
Bro, but he was literally throwing dots whenever he was with the team, whenever you would see like with the what's it called? Preseason and stuff like that. He be throwing bombs though, for real. But and that's gonna get us into our next topic. and it's going to be about Dan Campbell, or will I say Dan Gamble? And his team was at yeah, what, around the 30-yard line, going for it on fourth down when they could have just tied the game, which is, I won't say the reason they lost, but part of the reason why they couldn't have won this game. And I'll let you kind of take the floor with it. How do you feel about Dan Campbell's decision making in this game?
I can't I can't be upset with it. I'm upset that they didn't kick those field goals. If they would have kicked those field goals, like because they had like that was there was two field goals they could have taken like around 40 yards that would have let them win the game. That like but that's if they make those field goals, right? There's no
Hmm.
guarantee that you make those field goals if you go ahead and attempt those field goals, right? So I'm not gonna say I'm upset with it just because that's just who they are. That's what the kind of football they've been playing all year. And we've seen it all year. I mean, against the Cowboys, they went for two 4 times in a row on that one after all those penalties and stuff. So it's like I'm not really surprised that they did that. And I can't be upset because they've showed us who they are all year. Dan Campbell all year has put the game in his players' hands. He's trusted his players, and you can't be mad at him for trusting his players again in these situations. But at the end of the day, it's not really his fault. It's execution. Jared Goff threw a bad ball on that fourth down play, and it was behind the receivers, and that's kind of what led to the that happening. But I'm not mad at all that Dan Campbell did all that, and I do whether or not he'll be back in that situation in the NFC Championship. I think it's very possible. Because before Sunday, over the last 2 seasons, the Lions were 70% on fourth and short situations on that's 2 to 3 yards, right? That's 18% higher than the league average of 52. So if he's gonna keep playing like that, I'm not gonna be mad at him because they're doing it better than anyone else in the league on fourth down, fourth
Yeah,
and two, fourth and three. Only other team that probably is better at those fourth and short situations would probably be Philly because they have automatic first down with the tush push right now.
come on, bro.
But you can't be mad at him going for those fourth down situations. I won't be mad if he does it again next year after this. Just putting trust in his players and every time they have the ball, trusting that they'll be able to get that first down when needed. And I'm not bad at them for not kicking those field goals because Bagley scored 77% of field goals from 40 to 49% in his for 40 to 49 yards in his career, right? 77%. That's just about how that's 7% more than the fourth down conversion rate. So if it's that similar, I'm going for fourth down every single time too. I won't be upset at that. And then whether it's 50, if it's higher than 50 yards, Bagley's only 18%. Oh no, my bad. He's only 38% on 50 plus yard field goals. So like if it was a little bit further, I wouldn't be mad either. Like if he's going for it on fourth down, just because your kicker is not as reliable in those long distance situations kicking the ball. I'd be more trustworthy in our offensive players who's converting at a high level, higher than the league average. The only thing that I have to say about making it back to that NFC Championship is that it will be increasingly more difficult every time they go out there and play, just because now that teams have seen what they've been able to do all year, they're going to be able to adjust. Just like with Philly, right? They knew what Philly was able to do last year. They adjusted to Philly, so they're going to adjust to what the Lions are doing over there. It's gonna make it more difficult to run the ball. It's gonna make it more difficult to pass the ball and get those fourth down conversions. But I think if they're still able to maintain a lot of those key pieces that they have on their team this year, that they'll be able to make another run next year and win the division again, and then go out there and if they can go out there and make the NFC chip. But what do you think, man?
The streets saying the Detroit don't rock with CJ Gardner Johnson no more.
Man, CJ Gardner Johnson, I don't know why, bro has that dog in him. That's all I have to say. Bro has a dog in him.
But they just hating because he was doing the whole bye bye stuff against against the 49ers, and then they missing tackles, and then they ended
That
up losing.
that's not his fault, man.
But I mean, even if
Yeah,
you've seen Dan Campbell be the most aggressive coach in the whole league for the last 3 years, and them going for it on fourth down, league leading 33% of the time. And even during their first two playoff games, they converted 3 out of the 5 times they ran it on fourth down. They did 1 of 3 on Sunday. Wasn't too. It was just 33%. It was bad. But Dan Campbell just has that go for broke mentality, really. And in those fourth down situations, sometimes it costs you and sometimes it doesn't. But at the same time, whenever it's a game you absolutely have to win, I get you trust your guys.
Mhm.
I would trust them too. It like Jerry's saying that the statistics, it's only 7% higher that you do this other than that. Okay, well let's do that and get that percentage higher.
Mhm.
But at the same time, go for broke. You're not trying to go home. Especially playing in San Francisco, you're not trying to go home. And at that point, I think you just need to tie the game. And this is the same thing I said with the Cowboys too. Like they could have definitely like they would have been playing somewhere else if it wasn't for them. You feel me? Well, they already had the one seed, but it was just they wouldn't have even played the Rams first round. Stuff like that. Like it's the little things, you feel me?
Mhm.
But Dan Campbell, bro. Hopefully y'all can make it back next year, bro. Against the Carolina Panthers. Yes, sir. Dave Canales finna
Hey,
cook, bro. No
speaking of the
cap.
Carolina Panthers, that brings me to what I want to talk about. We got a lot of new coaching hires in the last week. Like you said, Dave Canales, Bucks offensive coordinator, the new Panthers head coach. How do you feel about that, man, real quick?
I mean, none too crazy. He's elevated quarterbacks throughout his career. Russell Wilson, Geno Smith. Then you have Baker Mayfield, basically revived his career. Hopefully, we can get Bryce cooking with this. I'm just really hoping we don't lose a hero of arrow, bro. Please, if you're seeing this, stay. Please be our DC.
And we'll see.
But we will see, bro. Our defense was top five, especially in yards allowed.
Hmm.
But we had like what?
You
I
were
think we're
32nd in pressures.
we're
Yeah, I saw
last
that.
in pressures this
We had
year. I'm
like
like,
199 pressures on the season, which was the league lowest.
and
But
and I think the people before us had like 50 more. Like
hmm
that's insane to think about.
yeah.
You feel me?
Hmm.
So like we had a good defense, but we just couldn't get sacks, which keeps the offense on the field. You feel me?
Hmm.
So I'm just hoping for the best. I'm hoping. I mean, like that really makes me think about like the Brian Burns situation.
Hmm.
But like, do we keep him or do we not? What would be the difference between keeping him or not? Like that's really what you got to think about. For last and pressures, imagine us in sacks, bro.
Hmm.
We just got to get Derek Brown rushing the quarterback, bro. Getting some pressure. You
Get
feel
a
me?
good D line coach. Y'all get there. But
How you feel about Fangio, bro?
Vic Fan, I don't know. Okay, look, I'm not upset with the hire, right? Vic Fangio is a very great defensive coordinator. He's a very great coach. But I was ready. I was so excited to get out of the Fangio system because that's all we've been running for the last like 4 or 5 years, right? Just Vic Fangio, four down lineman and secondary back, not allowing any big plays. And we see, and like we saw last year, right, with Sean Desai, he ran that Vic Fangio defense, and we were getting cooked. But I'm thinking since we're not just doing a Vic Fangio product, we're getting Vic Fangio himself, that we're gonna be a lot better. Because you saw how good that Miami Dolphins defense was throughout the year,
Yeah,
and hopefully he brings that same energy to us. Then we also got Kellen Moore as our new OC. And compared to the rumors of Cliff Kingsbury being our offensive coordinator, this is way better than that because he actually likes to run under center formations, and that's what all I want
he'll
under
actually
center.
run the ball.
Run the ball under center formations. We're gonna get some motion in there, and we're gonna see some creativity in the route concepts in the route trees from AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, which will be beautiful to see. Man, I'm excited about that. If he's not, really going to try to run the ball, I heard that Jeff Stoutland, our offensive line coach, one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league,
Love Stout.
he's gonna be able to, he's gonna try to, I think they're gonna use like Kellen Moore more as a pass coordinator, like off of offense, and then they're gonna try to get Jeff Stoutland to handle more of the run aspects, which will be great because Jeff Stout, I have a lot of respect and trust in Jeff Stoutland.
Bro, speaking of line coaches, have you seen the guy that just got hired for the defensive line coach?
Oh yeah.
I think he came from the Seahawks. That dude's a big
Bro is
dude,
ready to
bro.
strap up for us, bro. If
Bro,
we
Tyreek Hill was cooking him on Twitter, bro.
no way. I gotta look
Yes,
after
bro.
I gotta look
You gotta
after
look at that,
we're
bro.
done.
Man, just he's literally a unit. You think of Debo from Friday, and he's bigger than
Yeah,
that,
they
bro.
said they said if I saw someone say if Brian Johnson ate Pat Matricia. But we also
Bro,
got
that's
the Rams DC Raheem Morris, the new Falcons head coach. I don't know if this happened last week, but Jim Harbaugh is now the Chargers head coach. Ben Johnson, now that the Lions are out of the Super Bowl race, is most likely about to be the Washington head coach. And that means all that stuff is the Seattle Seahawks head coach, who I think should hire Dan Quinn, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. The Falcons coaches are looking scary. They got Zach Robinson, Jimmy Lake, and Marquise Williams as OC, DCN, special teams coordinator. Panthers might be cooked, bro.
Bro,
Sick.
trust in your dogs, bro. They're
I
definitely
gotta
cooked.
trust in my dogs. We're finna sweep them next
Definitely
year.
cooked.
Easy. 17-0. That's crazy. But yeah, bro. That's gonna go ahead and wrap us up for this episode. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all next week. We'll give y'all some predictions about the Super Bowl, what we think is gonna happen. I'm gonna put down a parlay for y'all, bro. I'm putting down
Prize
major
Picks
parlay.
sponsor us.
Prize picks, we need the sponsor, but I mean, other than that, hope y'all have a great week. You gotta say anything, Jay Reese?
Yeah, man. Have a great week. Enjoy some NBA basketball. Get ready for the Pro Bowl. You know, if you get to gambling, you know what I'm saying, be careful with that. Prize Picks us to take your money with them lines. Them lines be cheating me, bro.
No, for
Lines
real, bro.
always be cheating. If you're listening to this Prize Picks, I'm sorry about all that. Sponsor us. Give me some free cash to play with. But yeah, have a great week, guys.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
I will see y'all.